Investors look at the Indian stock market with one universal objective: identifying the companies that will quietly compound capital over the next 10 years. Recently, a curated framework of 12 specific businesses caught the market's attention. Over a strict 3-year window, an equal weight portfolio of these 12 companies delivered a 99% absolute return. This chart compares that outperformance directly against standard benchmarks. While the Nifty 50 generated a 9.5% return, this 12-stock framework generated a 25.9% compound annual growth rate. A 16 percentage point outperformance per year is a significant margin. It is exactly the kind of result that tempts retail investors to stop doing their own research and simply copy the strategy. The list itself spans the economy. It includes regional city gas distributors, specialized defense electronics manufacturers, and digital financial infrastructure. The immediate dilemma is clear. When you see numbers like that, the overwhelming temptation is to treat this historical framework as a blind, guaranteed buy list for the next decade. But we need to separate the business from the stock. A dominant company with a wide economic moat only translates into a profitable investment if you buy it at a rational price. A business can ride persistent macroeconomic tailwinds, but if the market has already priced in the next 10 years of flawless growth, your future returns will be flat. Bull markets encourage anchoring. They allow 3 years of explosive past performance to mask inherent vulnerabilities and elevated risks hiding within the business models. Instead of validating these 12 stocks as immediate buys, we will deconstruct their specific structural moats and their exposure to downside triggers. To do this, we have to break these 12 disparate companies into 3 distinct functional categories based on how they actually generate cash. Compiling a list of low-competition companies serves as the first step. The actual work involves matching their individual risk profiles against your own investment strategy. Group 1 operates on exclusive infrastructure networks. These are your city gas distribution companies. This bucket includes Indraprastha Gas, Mahanagar Gas, Gujarat Gas, and the Power Exchange, IEX. The primary benefit of investing in these regional monopolies is supreme predictability. As households shift to piped natural gas and vehicles transition to CNG, these companies collect highly reliable, recurring cash flows. They also possess built-in downside protection. Once a company like Mahanagar Gas lays its pipeline infrastructure beneath a densely populated urban center, it becomes physically and economically impossible for a competitor to replicate it. However, there is a specific catch for this group: severe regulatory risk. Because they operate vital infrastructure, they are at the mercy of the government. A sudden shift in the national gas allocation policy or the imposition of strict pricing caps can instantly dismantle years of carefully modeled growth projections. Group 1 offers excellent cash flow stability, but it forces you to essentially bet your capital on uninterrupted, favorable decisions from government regulators. Group 2 shifts away from physical infrastructure and focuses entirely on the underlying architecture of the capital markets. Here we have the financial players: CDSL, CAMS, and CRISIL. Their moat operates like an asset-light toll booth. They take a tiny fee on every transaction, account opening, or mutual fund folio, without ever needing to build expensive new factories to scale their operations. They are riding a significant structural shift: the ongoing financialization of savings across India, as more citizens move their capital from physical assets into equities. Looking at this risk matrix, we see the financial outcome. CDSL, CAMS, and CRISIL sit near the top of the y-axis because their return on capital employed is exceptionally high. But look at the x-axis. Their near-zero reinvestment requirement pushes them straight into the valuation danger zone. Because these supreme operational qualities are entirely obvious to everyone, the broader market demands extreme valuation premiums up front. The consequence is that if you buy at peak valuations, you will have to hold through multiple severe market downturns, periods where asset management volumes naturally drop, just to realize the returns you were promised. Group 2 practically guarantees you a piece of India's financial growth, provided you have the ironclad patience to survive inevitable, sharp valuation crunches. The final group leaves the digital world behind and instead focuses heavily on heavy engineering and specialized technical manufacturing. This bucket holds Data Patterns, Astra Microwave, MTAR, Praj Industries, and Engineers India Limited. Their growth is catalyzed by centralized government mandates pushing for defense indigenization, active space exploration, and aggressive green energy transitions. The upside potential is expansive. These firms are tapping into high-ceiling revenue runways, driven directly by billions of dollars in national import substitution budgets. But the risk vector here is purely execution and a heavy reliance on business-to-government relationships. You have to face the sobering reality of government contracting. Bureaucratic delays in order pipelines or sudden reallocations in national defense budgets can turn these high-growth engines into years of dead money. Group 3 offers the highest growth potential of the entire list, but it strictly requires you to hawkishly monitor government execution timelines. Now that we understand the distinct mechanics of these businesses, we have to look at your operational reality. This decision tree starts with a very direct question. Do you actively track valuations and sector regulations? If your answer is path A, no, you lack the time to monitor PE contractions or government gas allocations, then treating these 12 stocks as a blind buy and forget portfolio is highly dangerous. Your optimal move is to protect your capital. Stick to the passive, steady compounding of broader index funds like the Nifty 50 or 500. But if your answer is path B, yes, you have the operational bandwidth to manage your portfolio actively, then utilize this 12-stock list not as an immediate shopping cart, but as a high-conviction watch list. This matrix forces you to align your stock-picking strategy with the actual time you can commit, preventing a mismatch between your goals and your habits. Identifying a company with a strong moat, high return on invested capital, and a clean balance sheet is only half the equation of a great investment. Knowing the names of these low-competition businesses is no longer a secret advantage. The modern market is highly efficient. That information is already priced in. The real opportunity lies in market volatility. It comes from tracking these categorized compounders closely and waiting for moments of broader panic to acquire them at a discount. Decade-long compounding requires the discipline to wait for specific, high-quality businesses to trade at rational prices rather than simply holding a secret list of names.